Hi, I'm Alexa, and I'm going to talk a little bit about some self care strategies today. I have been playing, or I'm in the process of playing self care bingo with my team at work, and we agreed that we would all take two bingo cards. These were generated online. We got this idea from somewhere, and it's something we were talking about. And the holidays are always stressful. It's the end of the year. A lot of people, I've noticed, it's like, we want to get this done before the end of the year. So a lot of projects kind of get pushed forwards, like get it done. And then you're planning if you're traveling for holidays, or maybe you're home, but like holidays are tough for you. There's a lot of stress that goes with holidays, no matter what you're doing for them, right? And so we decided we wanted to do this to remind ourselves that during this stressful time that we were able to still take that time for ourselves, and also take that time for ourselves collectively as a team together, which is super, super nice. And um, you have to consciously work on culture. If you want something as a part of your culture, as a part of your group, as a part of your team, you have to consciously put that effort in. And culture is everyone who is a part of the community, right, that you're in, whether that's a work, whether it's a mini team, the whole company, your customers, everyone brings something to the table. So we decided to do this, and we have taken two boards each, um, and for the past few weeks, we've been working on basically checking off and doing each of the things on the lists on the boards that we had. And then we're going to have in our team meeting, we're going to pull the I'm going to actually cut these out. There's a whole bunch of them, and I'll be pulling them. And then if you did it, you get to check it off if it's called. So slightly confusing maybe, but we know what we're doing. We're happy with it. But I think the fun thing about this is that it's really brought self-care to the front. So I've noticed my team, like between all of us, will be reminding each other, like, did you do your board? Have you checked any off? What did you do yesterday? Like, what do you still have left? Oh, we just did this. One of the things on here was to end a meeting on time. So we made it. Someone was like, "Oh, I have one more idea." We were like, "You've got 60 seconds so we can end this on time." And it was a super short idea, so it actually worked out and we did end it on time. But we were holding each other accountable to that one, so we could have an end a meeting on time for all of us who had it on our boards. And I think this idea that I fall into this trap, okay, that if I'm gonna do self-care, I'm gonna do it right, and I'm gonna make it if I'm gonna do self-care, I'm gonna feel better after it, and, like, really, like, go after it, like, gung ho, and, like, I'm gonna do self-care. And it's really this reminder, and I've been thinking about this, it's not that. You have to be a little bit softer with yourself. Like, self-care can quite literally be taking your hands off your keyboard because you just whatever's going on, you're stressed, right? Closing your eyes and taking a deep breath, just a pause. That can be self-care. Self-care can also be, and some of these things I was like, these are a little hard to do. The one that I didn't think really is one many people would be able to do is develop a habit. Um, is that what it was? I think it's develop a habit, um, or developed a routine. Like, it takes 21 days to develop a habit. If you're doing something every single day, that's what they're saying. That's when it starts becoming normal. You just do it every day. Um, but some of these are super easy, like do something new, limit your screen time, sit in silence, go to bed at a reasonable time, did nothing, um, rested, planned ahead, looked at nature, set a boundary, spent time with a pet. Oh, I didn't have that one on my board. That one I could have crossed off every day for the entire time we've done this. Um, give yourself grace, reward yourself, get enough sleep, ask for help. Then there's stuff that, like, say I'm proud of myself. What is something you are proud of yourself for? I am very proud that despite everything through my life, I have, at varying success over the years, I have always tried to better myself. And especially within the past 10, 15 years, I really realized that I'm in charge of me. All of the stuff that happened to me, and that's fine, but it's not going to stop me from doing the things that I do want to do in my life. So I'm very proud of myself for that. And listen, there are days where I feel like giving up. We all have those days. It's completely normal when it's dark at flipping 4:50 in the evening and freezing cold and you don't wanna do anything, it's definitely easy to be like, oh, feel a little down, you know? Um, but I am proud of myself. I've always got back up again. So, there you go. That was simple. That took me what, 30 seconds, a minute? These things I did find, like, some of these things, so one of the ones on my board is actually read a book or read a book, depending if it's past tense. Um, I don't wanna cross it off until I finish a book that I've been slowly reading for several months now. I'll read There was this one chapter that was so difficult to get through, it was so heavy on it does quote research studies, and it does give you all of this information, and there was just so much content that my brain was, like, processing it, so I took a little while before I started the next chapter. But I've read 2 chapters since we started this self-care, and, uh, there I am, and I'm laughing at myself because of this, like, I'm putting this pressure on myself to finish this book when I've technically done this thing. I have read a book, I read a chapter of it, like, it doesn't say read a whole book. Um, had fun, made someone smile, smiled alone, spent time with a pet. Yeah, I think I might have said that one. Um, wore your favorite outfit. Do you know, this is amazing to me. When you are feeling down, put on something you love, something you think looks really good or something that makes you really happy to wear. It can genuinely bring your mood up simply by wearing something you know you look good in or something that you really love to wear that makes you happy. Um, we are all humans, and psychology applies to pretty much all of us, right? Like, pretty consistently, most of us are in an area, like, there might be some outliers here or there on certain extremes. But psychology and the study of our brains and the study of human habits and human nature, it can tell us so much stuff. And literally, as simple as wearing your favorite outfit can boost your mood. I mean, maybe that's common sense, but the fact that it's actually been studied and proven is pretty fun to fact to know. Walked away from your desk, ate lunch at a new spot. I didn't have that one. Um, Decluttered. This is something interesting. It goes back to psychology as well. Um, I think I mentioned in my last video, I was planning on taking some stuff down to Goodwill. I had some bags of clothes, some other stuff from the kitchen. I had an old computer monitor that still works. I took that down there on Sunday and I donated it. And it must have been Monday night, but I walked into my bedroom and previously, the clothes that I took, a lot of them were actually in basically, the minute you walk in the room, they're right in front of right in front of the doorway, you could see them, and I walked in there, and I wanna say it was Monday night, and it was just clear again, and, like, I still have stuff in my room. I actually have the this is so silly. I have the back seats from my car in my bedroom because I don't have anywhere else to store them, and I don't want them in the car, so I have some cat stuff in there. I have a plastic, um, clothes hamper, but one of the handles, it's almost broken all the way through, so I had to buy a new one because I can't if the handle breaks on my way to or from the laundromat, I'm not gonna have trouble. I'm gonna have a lot of trouble getting the stuff up the stairs. So I don't know what to do with that. I probably have to break it up a little bit to fit it into the recycle bin. So I have a box in there with an exercise wheel for the cats, and that thing I have been ignoring for months. I opened it and I looked at the instructions and I just went, "Nope, I can't do this." Like, I can't deal with how detailed it was, and it would have taken me so long and sitting on the floor for hours. So there's other stuff I still do need to do in there, but just walking in and seeing this one section cleared off, I've cleared off my couch. I had some stuff on there and I've tidied that up. My kitchen, I've cleaned some stuff out of there. And the more stuff I clear, I have that same feeling I had when I walked in my bedroom and I saw this sort of open area that was not piled with the clothes I wanted to donate anymore. And it was just this sort of sigh and relaxing of my shoulders. Genuinely, the more cluttered our space are, this is studied at psychology, the more cluttered our space is, the more cluttered our brains and our stress levels can be. So simple little things can genuinely help us and genuinely help us in a way that allows us to then tackle bigger problems or issues or stressors in our lives, I guess is a better way to say it. So I have gone through a whole bunch of things today. It's not exactly rocket science. I'm sure a lot of this stuff is you've done or makes sense or you've heard other people say before. Um, some of the stuff that's not on here that it's reminded me by doing this self-care bingo with my team, some of the things that it's reminded me of is making healthy dinner. Like I have because I was able to clean some stuff out of my kitchen, I felt more like I can go in there and cook more. It's not just going to make a mess that's going to clutter it up again. So I did make some really nice stuff over I think being off for a few days last week also helped give me that time to do some stuff I had wanted to do. Um, Something as simple as uh, a facial. I have these masks that they were actually given to me. And I used one today. I was like, "Oh, well, you literally just put this like sheet on your face and let it sit there for 15 minutes." And then after that was off, I left it for a little while and I just went in there and I was like, "I'm just going to wash my face and put some lotion on." I actually bought a new lotion cuz my skin has been so dry. And I have a CeraVe one. This is the new one. I haven't tried it yet on my face. Um, but I have a CeraVe one that's super like ultra hydrating, and I use that one on like my feet or my elbows or whatever. And I was like, well, that one really works. So I'm gonna try this CeraVe one for my face and we'll see. It's meant to be weightless on the skin and it's not meant to make you oily. So something as simple as that, washing your face and putting some lotion on can be so calming and so, you know, restorative. I actually have this little thing from I think it's a Neutrogena brand, but you can get them. And it's this little thing you hold it, it's battery powered, and you put a little it's almost like a little felt sponge. They call it it's called microdermabrasion, but I mean it's just a little rough sponge with some sort of face wash in it, and it just sort of vibrates and scrubs your skin, and that thing, I use it, I don't know, when my skin's really bad, I'll use it maybe twice a week, but I can go a few weeks without it when my skin is good. Something as simple as that is, like, also just like, wow, I just took a little bit of time to myself, and it costs a little bit to buy it to begin with, but I've had it for a few years now, and we're talking probably pennies when you divide it by how long I've had it. I never used to take care of myself the way I do now. I never used to understand the importance of certain things. I was definitely made to feel that resting meant I was lazy, and if I wasn't constantly busy at work, I was slacking off, and that was bad. Where now I realize there are times when, especially if your work is a little bit more um, generating ideas, sometimes going slowly or working on something that's like just mindless data entry or something like making a list. This morning I sat down and I made a list of everything wanted and needed to get done today. I then I actually put myself on Do Not Disturb, which I really don't do very often, but it stops the messenger program from blinking when people message you. They can still message you, and I was still checking it. I then put on some classical music because that's meant to help you focus, and I have found that that does help me when I get into a certain rhythm or certain have certain things I need to get done. And I sat there and I also would then I actually pinged the person, "I'm working on this right now. I should have it to you very soon." And that way I also knew I was gonna stay on top of those things. Um, and I was able to check off a lot of things on my list. And I do this very rarely because I want to be available for anyone who needs me when they need me. Um, but today, this was what I had to do. There's so much stuff that is sort of like it's the end of the year almost, and everyone wants to get projects finished and this, that, and the other. And it's just felt like I need to sit down and cross some stuff off this list so that I can get stuff to other people and that they can then be able to finish their part before the end of the year too. So something like that is also self care. And we are allowed, and not even just allowed, but we need as humans to do some things like this for ourselves, for the people around us. We're also modeling that behavior for others to show them they can also do this and these things can work for them as well. We need this. We do better work. The fact that I took those steps this morning, knowing that yesterday I tried to get stuff done and I was all over the place and I kept getting interrupted and like I think it wasn't even other people necessarily interrupting me, it was myself not having a clear plan of action of what I wanted to get done was also interrupting me because my brain would jump to different tasks. So doing that this morning, I got so much done. I feel very relieved. It's almost like when I walked into my bedroom and I saw that empty space, I was looking at my to-do list this afternoon right before I left, and I'm like, I've got so much of this cleared off right now. There's still a lot on it because reality, always something to do. But self-care, it is as simple as closing your eyes and taking a deep breath, and it can be as complex as taking a bunch of PTO and going on vacation, right? Like, it can be everywhere and anywhere in between. It can be changing careers because you realize that what you're doing is not what you truly love, or it could be moving to a new state or even just moving to a new apartment. It could be just rearranging your apartment that you live in now or your house that you live in now because something about it doesn't make you happy. You want to move it around. Why not? Um I could probably go on for quite a while. There's a lot of stuff that I've done over the years, especially for mental health. Um, Today I did journal. That was actually one of the things on my bingo card, and I've been sort of meaning to. And then today it was after work. I had an errand. I came home, and then before I did stuff on the computer, I was like, I'm going to go write this down. And just wrote stuff down, stuff that it's not even that you necessarily truly think things. It's just a passing thought that goes through your brain, and sometimes writing it down gets it out of your brain so you can ignore it and move on to the next thing. So much that we can do. And yes, Wrapping yourself in your Udi on a cold day, it's so soft, and so warm and so comfortable. Genuinely, I think everyone should have one. I think everyone should have one because 'cause they're so comfortable. It doesn't look the best on video, but that's okay. I hope that people are here for the content and not the clothes I'm wearing. So, thank you for being here if you made it this far. I appreciate you as always. Drop a like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and definitely practice a little self care and be kind to yourself.